Okay, just thought I'd make a quick video about how I'm approaching the testing process for iteration one. So I've written a few tests already for auth and channel. Um, and yeah, so I'm going to go over two examples. One of a really basic one. Actually, they're both pretty basic, but one that I've already written and one that's yet to be written. So we can sort of just go over the structure of one and then write one. And then, so if you're having a bit of trouble with just how to structure your tests in terms of like our project, um, then hopefully this will help. So I've looked at basically exemptions. So this is, I think, the best way for us all to start with everyone's parts. If there's any sort of exemptions, so you're seeing testing for when things go wrong. So this is looking for an input error in channels. These ones maybe less so, but for the rest of them, as you can see, we're looking for errors. We're looking for an issue. So in the first two, there's quite a few errors to test for. And yes, I've done most of these, but one that I haven't done is this one here. Length of password is less than 6 characters. So basically, when we go to register, if someone puts in a password that is less than 6 characters, then we're going to say, no, sorry, you're going to have to do it again. So there's two stages to this, is doing the test and then implementing that in the source code. So let's have a look. So I've just got this split here. Sorry, horsefly. So here's our source code. This is auth.py, and here is our testing code. So I'm a bit zoomed in, but let's just have a gander. So before we do anything else, I'll just go quickly again over a test that has already been implemented. So we're testing with register and logging in here to see if someone's entered a password here and then gone to log in with a different password. So the first thing you want to do is we're just going to clear the database. So what that is going to do is just going to make sure that there's nothing in there from the previous test. Yep. And then we're going to run our function, auth register. And so we're going to say that this is the input someone's putting in, Gladys Bin Chicken, 11 a.m. presses, and these are the names. So now what we're doing is we're using PyTest to look to see if the source code will identify if there's an error when someone does something wrong. So basically this is saying we're expecting the source code to find this problem here where it says 10 a.m. presses, but it's actually meant to be 11. So if we have a look at the source code, let's have a look at a register. So we pop in the email and password and everything. Should be all okay. So it's going to check the email, see if this is all the register tests, and then it's going to append this to the store. So it's going to append our ID, email, and password. Now we'll go back to log in, and we're basically going to go through and say, all right, so we're going to start off by initializing an ID to assign them. And then we're going to get all the information from the data store that's been popped in from the register. And then we're going to run through the whole data store and see first if there's an equivalent email. So that saying is, okay, so Gladys is registered, therefore there's an email and the password. So we're going to move on to the next thing. And here we're saying if user of 2, so this is basically saying the second element of the user database, which is in this case the password, is not equal to the password that they've logged in with here, then we're going to say raise input error, password entered is incorrect. So this is basically saying, look, this is the exemption we're testing for. Someone's put in the wrong password after registering with the 11 a.m. presses, and now they're trying to log in with 10 a.m. presses. So we're gonna say in the source code, this is what we want to find, basically, with the test. We want to find if we've actually written to see in the error. And this is why here we're going to say with pytest.raises input error, and see if it throws an input error when we put in the wrong information. And now with PyTest, for all your testing files, you will need to import it. And as you go along, from all the separate different folders, you'll need to import like input error. You need to import the clear v1 function, auth login function. And you just copy paste this from the auth test, basically. And we may have a format error with PyLint, but it doesn't matter. Right, so that's the test for an incorrect password. And I'm actually going to break this up into 2 videos because I'm running out of space. All right, let's see if that works.